Ghost Stories with LeRoy.
Greetings, everyone, and welcome to Ghost Stories with me, LeRoy. I'm gonna share my story of the event that caused me to take a step back from ghost hunting and ultimately never do it again. Me and a group of friends wanted to go camping at Cane Creek in Waxhaw, North Carolina. It's this massive park that has a place you can go camp at. It's a beautiful place. One of my friends had gone a few times with their families, and they had some really weird experiences. And when I say experiences, you know I mean paranormal, right? I can't recall too much, but I remember it got me curious enough. I was like, we gotta go ghost hunting. So the first night we're there, it's just a couple of us go out at night, off trail, which is kind of crazy. But yeah, we just go off into the woods, into the dark. And, we just kind of go around trying to do an EVP session. I remember, there were these really loud geese out on the lake that were very disruptive. So, needless to say, we weren't really getting anywhere. And then we came to this strange part of the woods. And there was some brick formations, like there used to be a building or maybe a house there. We of course started to do an EVP session, and one of my friends just got a weird vibe. And we just placed down a flashlight, and we were kind of asking to see if the spirits would mess with it, and sure enough, the lights started to flicker. So we were excited, okay, this is interesting. Again, it was a flashlight with brand new batteries. Nothing was wrong with the flashlight. It was cool. So we go back and we tell the rest of the group, hey, we had this kind of interesting experience. Of course, everybody gets hyped up. So the next night, we go back with more people and we start asking questions again. And once again, our flashlight starts flickering. One of my friends were trying to provoke, which I'm going to go ahead and say, don't provoke ghosts at all. That is my... I don't provoke ghosts. I do not encourage anyone to provoke ghosts. If you ever go ghost hunting, a lot of times you're talking to people. People that may not be alive anymore, but they're people. So you need to be respectful of that. And if you're not getting any responses, that means they don't want to talk to you. So leave them alone. Move on. There's other spirits that will. If you guys would like me to do a little video about tips on ghost hunting, let me know down in the comments below. I've been thinking I might do that. Anyway, getting back to the story. My friend lit a cigarette. He was just being purposefully disrespectful. We start hearing what sound like footsteps coming up from the way, and there's a road up there. And we're just like, oh shit, it's a park ranger. So we just called out, is anyone there? No response. Okay. We start asking questions again, but then we hear the footsteps again, and we all stop, and no one appears. So things are starting to get a little creepy now. And one of my friends who kind of has a sense for these kind of things senses I think we're being surrounded. And then my friend caught a glimpse of a man crouched down, staring us down. And in a blink, he was gone. So we were getting more and more uneasy, and we just kept hearing the footsteps around us, the leaves crinkling, with no wind. It was getting creepy. So we wrapped up our EVP session, and we're like, okay, we got to get out of here. Whatever this is, we're pissing it off. Let's go. So we head back to the campsite, and my friend who senses things tells us we're being followed. Clearly, whatever we pissed off wasn't going to let us off easy. We got back to the camp, and one of our friends that had stayed behind just kind of stood up and I think could feel the energy change, because they're just like, what did you do? And just the rest of that night, they could sense that there were they could sense that they were kind of around us, around our campsite. Thankfully, there were other campers there that were active, so it kind of helped us feel a little safe. But going to sleep that night was one of the most challenging nights of my life. So somehow I finally went to sleep. I went to sleep before a lot of people because I was like, I'm done with this night. I'm ready for it to be the next day, and made it to the next day. And it was our last day, so we were kind of just packing up camp. And then I went home, and this was back when I was still living at home. My mom told me, like, hey, I had this really weird dream. I think it was a dream where I just heard someone banging on my bedroom door. Like some kind of man, like, banging on the door. And that just scared me because it was like the night after I got back. So I was like, did something follow me home? That was kind of the last straw. I'm like, okay, we messed with something and I don't even know what we did. That was always my fear ghost hunting, is something attaching itself and following me home. Or to my loved ones, which, again, I don't know if that was connected or not, but it startled me. I didn't stop ghost hunting altogether, but I wasn't really going out of my way for it. I was being very cautious, and inevitably, I haven't ghost hunted in years. I don't plan to do it again, personally, because I felt I got the experiences I needed to prove to myself there were ghosts out there. It just didn't seem necessary. And also, again, you know, I'm an amateur ghost hunter. I don't know what I'm doing. And I don't know what I'm messing with. So for that reason, I love telling ghost stories. I love hearing ghost stories, but not partaking in the hunting of ghosts anymore. Waxhaw has history with the Civil War, as well as its Native American land. I feel like what we may have disrupted was Native American spirits. I don't know that for sure. We didn't catch any voices saying who they were. But at the same time, what my friend had sensed and the experiences we had kind of led me to believe that. So that is the story of why I don't ghost hunt anymore. Have any of you camped at Cane Creek and had a strange experience? Let me know down in the comments below. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you at the next ghost story.